Hello everybody, welcome back to a Lazy Sunday podcast. My name is Kay, I am your host here. I'm also the dyer behind Lazy Sunday Yarns, which will be linked down below. I'm coming to you from a really grey, drizzly Cornwall today, and just chilling out, drinking and sort of basic tea. You will know by now that this is my sort of go-to drink, classic cup of English tea, and that is in my Be Kind mug that I bought from Jolly Boutique, which is online, and I will link that down below as well. So grab your drink, grab your knitting, get cozy, and let's get started. Alright, so I thought I would start off by saying what I am wearing today. The t-shirt is just, I can't really remember where it's from, but it's a tarot card t-shirt, and it is the moon. You can see that there. And the cardigan is not a hand make, but I was watching not the most recent episode, the episode before our Chevy Rail podcast. Again, everything will be linked below, but I'm sure lots of you know. I think lots of you have come from Chevy's podcast, so hello if you have. But if you haven't, if you haven't heard of her, then I highly recommend you scoot over and give her a watch. She's amazing and she's such a kind soul. Love. Anyway, but she was talking about one of her current makes is a granddad cardie, is what she called it. So it reminded me of my granddad cardie. This I bought in a vintage shop in Falmouth. It does have a turned collar, which is how it's supposed to sit, but I sort of turn it up and make it sort of blankety and snuggly and cozy. And it has this, like, let's see if I can get it and get close to you, has this like knitted sort of faux braid down the front with these leather sides, and at the bottom all those leather strips are all chewed up because bunnies like to chew on it. And this I bought because it looked exactly like the cardigan my granddad used to wear when I was growing up, and I sort of saw it and like envisaged him in it. Probably not saying it right still. And I needed to have it, and it was like super cheap. And now it sits in my wardrobe on my granddad's coat hanger as well. So it's a very special piece, although it's very old and sort of bobbly, and no matter how much debobbling I do, it still bobbles, so I just sort of leave it that way, and I still love it. Comfy cozy, that's what we go for here, cozy vibes. So I just thought I'd share it with you. My granddad was very special to me. Obviously, he was my granddad, but I grew up in the same house as him, and he was around all the time. He was, I'll put a picture in here of him. He would sit in his green leather armchair right by the front door, and every time someone walked past, he would flinch his toes in and go, but still wanted to sit by the front door. And he would live on Werther's Originals, and like sneak me one when no one was looking, and fan of dad jokes, big old fan of dad jokes, like dressed head to toe in Adidas with like Adidas sandals and socks. So as soon as I saw this cardigan, I needed it, and it's been in my life ever since. I don't have a lot to share with you today. I've gone back to work, and it's just been sort of like manic, but not really manic. It's like the amount of customers is really quiet. I think people are still being cautious about leaving their house, which is, to be fair, quite nice to see. But we have had a lot of work to do in terms of like restocking and like reorganising and making everything COVID safe and all that. So work has been quite busy and quite full on. So I just haven't had it in me to podcast. But this weekend I sort of accidentally somehow managed to wrangle a 4-day weekend. So I've had a really nice, lovely rest. And it was very much needed. And I've had a lovely weekend. But we'll go into all that later. So I'll just jump on into the knitting because that's what you're all here for, I guess. Okay, I have one FO for you today, and it is one that you have never seen, but it was for my other half, Matty's birthday. It was his gift, and it's, I think maybe in my last episode or the episode before I showed you some new colourways, and one of them was Poseidon, which I dyed sort of for Matty. It's his favourite, one of his favourite colours, and I thought he sort of inspired me to dye it up. But I have made him this hat. It is a 2x2 ribbed beanie with some sort of ribbed decreases there. Now, the pattern I made myself, and I am fully intending on writing that up and releasing it, but that won't be anytime soon. I just don't have the brain space to do it right now, and it hasn't been tested or anything. Like, I literally cast this off and blocked it like 2 days ago, so I still got some like baffing to do with the pattern, but it will be coming. I am properly impressed with myself and those decreases. They're gorgeous. He has worn it once. I did steal it back from him so I could show it to you guys. He wore it yesterday when we went to, I should have checked what it was called. Put the text here. If any of you have ever been to Cornwall, you'll know that like most of the names are like impossible to pronounce until you get like taught how to pronounce them. It's all like Cornish language, and like it's very similar to Welsh language, I think, or from my like very limited knowledge on both languages, they seem very similar to me. And that's it. So this is my Poseidon colourway in Lazy Sunday Yarns. I'm properly in love with how it's knit up and that pull in. It very much reminds me, because Poseidon is the god of the sea, and when you're in Cornwall and you go on your like Cornish cliff walks, you can see like the seaweed. The water's so clear here, and you can see this sort of seaweed on the bottom of the sea, and it has that sort of effect, that like pooling effect. So it does look like the sea. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So I'll let you know about pattern releases and all that jazz when the time comes to it. Let's throw that on his seat. That's it for FOs. That is my only FO, and I've pretty much been working on that, if anything, at all. But it has been a while since I podcast, so I still do have things to show you. The next thing I'll show you is probably not even worth showing you. You saw this last time, my completed sock. I have literally yesterday cast on the second. I'm in a massive tangle. Cast on the second of those socks. So I just have a teeny tiny little bit of ribbon there. Not much to show. Debated even showing you at all, but more content. Why not? Got myself in a tangle. So that's that. And I don't think I showed this to you last time. I think maybe I just picked it up again. So I'm going to show you, but apologies if you have seen this all already. I have hopefully moved my stitch marker so I know what you've seen and what you haven't. I think I did. So this is my Maja cardigan in my Lopi. I didn't show you this last time because I had to stop. I had to pause for a little bit because I ran out of yarn, and there was a shortage and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then the amazing craft enabler helped me, she enabled me and helped me find some more wool so I could continue. So since then, you already saw that I finished one sleeve, and this is where I was up to last time you saw, and I have since finished the second sleeve. My current sort of, I will acknowledge, by the way, it is shorter, I know. I have for those of you that may be new here, I have a disability in my right arm, which means it's 2 inches shorter. So my second sleeve, usually my second, is always a bit shorter, because by the time you're at the end of the second sleeve, you're like, I want to do the shorter 1 second, you know, get through it a little bit quicker. So I'm loving this knit, but my current process with projects is getting to a certain point on a project where it like feels comfortable to stop, and then skipping to another project. So as I've as I've put the sleeves on hold now, this cardie is kind of on pause for a little while until I can get up to a better place on some of my other projects, which leads me, that is knit in Let Lopi, by the way. I have gone into colourways and stuff on previous podcasts, so I won't go into too much detail there, which leads me to my last whip of the day, which is my, hang on, I need a sip of tea. My last whip of the day, which is, again, I'm in a big tangle because when I've been knitting recently, it's been like shorts and spits and spurts and fits and little bits here and there. It's not been like long sessions, which means that when I put it away in a hurry. So all of my projects are really tangled, so apologies. This is my Main Squeeze cardigan by, I forget the magazine now, Modern Knits or something like that. It's again linked below. It was from a magazine. I know it was issue 12. That's for some reason stuck in my head. But I think you can buy the pattern individually as well. It is a super chunky cardigan. I was silly and didn't double check the pattern and bought chunky wool for it. And so I'm holding that double. The wool I am using is James Brett Marble Chunky, which is one we sell at my work. So this is my current at work project. So it's not moving very quickly, but it is moving. That is in the colourway. I have a ball band here. This is what the ball band looks like. Again, not very neat because I've shoved it in my bag so quickly. And that is in colour 34. Now, I'll show you that. So that's the dye lot I have. I will say I don't really pay attention to dye lots in this because the colours, you can see, change so much that it doesn't, like, I've tried to match balls before and it's just like, it's literally impossible to do it. There doesn't seem to be a regular repeat in the colourway, so I wouldn't worry too much about dye lots. Holding it together, I was worried you would lose that sort of marble effect, but you really haven't. It's still really beautiful. I love how it's turning out. It is a sort of big oversized cardigan. This is a commission knit that I'm doing for a lady that I work with. For her, I believe her sister-in-law, possibly. She's almost, go away, had a notification on my laptop. She's almost the only person these days that I will do commission knits for, because A, she pays what it's worth because she values the work, and B, she's just like one of the kindest people ever, so like I just like, it's impossible to say no to her. And it's a sort of all-in-one, so the body's knit as one piece. I have finished the sleeves, which I've shown you before, so once I finish the body, there's not really that much left to do on it. I've got about 10 inches left to go. Last time you saw it, I was here, where this is a little teacup stitch marker. and that is from my shop, and I only had 2 of these charms, so there is only 1 left in the shop because I liked it, so I stole one for myself. Sorry, because I don't know if I can get them again, but I promise you if I can I will, because they're super cute. But that is in the shop. And yeah, I really like how it's turning out. There's a lot of stitches because she wanted me to knit the biggest size, because the lady I'm knitting for is plus size, but this is going to be way bigger than she is because she wanted like a big blanket cardigan, and she's very tall, so I have to do it very long, hence why I sort of put it off for ages, because it feels like a massive project. But I can sort of see the end now. I'm sort of halfway through, I think. The light is coming to the end of the tunnel. So that's it for whips. I really don't have a lot to share with you. I don't even have a lot of like buying to share with you. I do have a bit down there I could show you, I suppose. Yeah, we'll show you that. Okay, so I am going to go into my acquisitions first. I'll show you, I think, first, I bought a few things from work, 2 of which they are back here. Whoops! Throwing things on the floor. I have a new little niece on the way. I'm very excited, and I have, of course, someone whistling outside. Sorry, very distracting. I have, of course, been planning some baby knits. Wanted to get that hat out of the way first, so I haven't actually cast anything on yet, but I'll show you my plans. I have the first, there are 2 patterns I bought from work and 2 yarns I bought from work. Now, the first is, both patterns are from Stylecraft, and oddly neither of the yarns are Stylecraft, as you do. The first is Bambino double knit pattern, and the colour, the pattern number is the pattern number is 9501. There's the number, and this is the pattern. It's this sweet little frilly cardigan. How cute is that? We've had it in work for a while, and I've always liked it. So as soon as I found out it was a little girl that was going to be joining the family, I picked that one up. And the second pattern is, no, we'll go into the wool I bought for that one first. So it only takes 1 ball because I'm doing the smallest size. And I bought Wendy Fleur double knit yarn, and it is this beautiful sort of, it's got a little bit, it's mostly acrylic, but it's got a little bit of tencel in it. Now, we're not stocking this at work anymore, so it is reduced, hence why I bought it, and hence why I bought it now. It's not technically a baby wool, but I've spoke to a few people, and I don't think it's too fuzzy for a baby, and it is very soft, so, and it's washable, because I think baby knits, it's better to have them easy to wash, I think, because you need to wash them so often for little ones. So that will be nice, little frilly cardi. And then I got this, again, Stylecraft Wonder Soft pattern, and that is 9271. There's the number. And that is this little 2-piece set. We had this up in work for a long time, and I loved it. But I'm going to make that in the James Brett Driftwood in shade DW06. And that's this purple and grey, because Georgina, my stepsister, who's having a little one, loves purple. So I think that will be a success. There we go, that's the colours there. I think that'll be sweet in that. I'm quite excited to get them cast on and made up, because I've since started and really getting into my knitting, I've never really had the opportunity to knit for little ones, so it's these will be my first like proper baby knits. So put those back. Put the patterns out the way, and again, those patterns are from work, but I'm sure you can find them online. Ooh, just showed you some secret sauce. Whoops, I'm sure it'll be fine. You only got like half the cardigan, so you're not actually going to be able to make much. And then my personal acquisitions from indie makers and dyers is, the first two I'm going to show you are, surprise surprise, Corner of Craft. But they are the mystery from, oh, I bet I missed May. I've not been on the ball, guys, seriously. They are mystery from April, I believe, so if you haven't received them, please look away now. This is the stitch marker for this month, this past month. Isn't that cute? I love it. She has shared them on her Instagram, so I do think it's safe to share these now. And this was this is the first yarn I've bought from her, and no regrets. No regrets at all. It was so beautiful. Look at this. I bought the sock set, sturdy sock set, which is Blueface Leicester and nylon. And I opted for the set, so I got the mini with it, and I'm so chuffed with that. It's so beautiful. The only other purchase I've made, and it was a relatively big one, but again, no regrets, was from Kat, from the lovely Kat from Heather and Hops. She had some yarn spun recently and she was selling it on her Ko-Fi account. We'll link it below. She's very worth your pennies. Trust me, she's a lovely, kind soul if you don't know her already. And she has released a pattern called, I think, the Spring Intentions wrap, and it's gorgeous. But it's designed to knit in sort of lots of colours. But I would quite, because it's textured, I would quite like it one block colour so the texture is the main focus. So I purchased some of her yarn to make it. It is very rustic, but it's still really soft. It doesn't feel itchy at all, and I am usually quite sensitive to that. And it is 50% black nose and 50% Jacob wool. It's gorgeous. I'm totally obsessed. I do think I've done the math a bit wrong, and I might need an extra skein if she has any left. But look at that, it's so beautiful. So I can't wait to get that cast on either, but again, got lots of things to finish beforehand, so I'm trying to be really strict with myself, especially now I have less time on my hands, because now I'm sort of suffering from the fact that I'm back at work and don't have as much time. But I have all of these cast-ons that I like crazily cast on with from my cast-onitis during lockdown. So I'm suffering now. Not really. Knitting is not suffering. Most definitely. So that's all my acquisitions. Again, I didn't think this would be very long, but when I edit, it's usually a lot longer than I anticipated. Before I jump into shop update and just like life news, I did want to go into my CAL. It is finished. It finished on the 30th of April. So I thought I would draw prizes here. Now, it was an Instagram CAL, so there isn't really a digital way to draw a winner. So what I've done is I sat down and I wrote down all of the names, and I've put them in this bag here. So here's sort of, nothing fell out. So I thought I would draw a prize. I'm totally blown away by the amount of entries. I just didn't really expect anyone to get involved, to be honest. But there was as you can see, there's quite a lot of entries there. So I have decided to draw 2 names, so there will be 2 prizes. The first will be the grand prize winner, who gets the skein of gorgeous yarns, and I will wrap it up a bit nicer, the lovely bag from Embroidered Elephant. And that will include £40 gift voucher to my shop, so you can go on and buy whatever colourways you want. I thought that was the best way to do it, so you can choose what speaks to you. And the second prize will get a £20 gift voucher from the shop. So let's draw it, I guess. For those of you interested, this is a one elephant bag. It was her fuzzy Halloween cats. Anyway, let's draw the names. It's random, I promise. Okay, so you guys will see it. That is Gently Does It is the grand prize winner. Well done! Her projects were gorgeous, especially her little fox baby knit. That was very, very cute. Very inspiring for my baby knits. And the second prize is Bitter Kitten Crafts. So well done, girlies. You've done so. You've made such beautiful things, and there was quite a few entries from you, so no surprise there. And thank you everyone who participated. I very much appreciate it. It's definitely not going to be the last time I do it. I definitely did not get involved in my own cowl. My project kind of just like fell off the face of the earth for a little while, but I do intend on finishing it. I did enjoy it, and I do want to use up that stash. So that's it. Those are the winners. Well done. I will get in touch and I will find out the best way to get those prizes to you. So I guess we'll go on to shop update. Cool, so I've moved forward for this so I can show you a little bit better. I have no new colourways for the shop, but we do have some restocks. The first one I want to talk about is I ordered some new dyes, just restocks of colours, no new colours, and I've re-dyed some of the colourways and they've come out a little bit darker. I have re-photographed them, so when you buy them on the site, when they go up, it will be the colour you see when you purchase it. But first one I want to mention is Pancakes with Kiki. This is usually a lot lighter. It's come out quite dark this time. I do still really like it. I'm still really happy. It is all the same colours. I think just I used the same measurements, followed the same recipe, but I think I'm going to have to like half it with this batch of dye for some reason. Unless you're happy for me to leave it this way. But I do really like how it's turned out. Still does have that really lovely tonal effect to it. And then there is a restock of Copper Boom. That's more accurate. And that is in the Gilmore Girls collection. This is in, Pancakes with Kiki is in the Movie Magic collection. And this again is Gilmore Girls collection, and that is 1,000 Yellow Daisies. It's very bright, it's blowing out a little bit. That's probably better. Still a little bit blown out, but again, new photos have been taken. And I have lots new stitch markers and progress keepers for you in the shop. Again, I want to thank Chevy for shouting me out on her most recent episode. I very much appreciate it. You're a babe. And I have some new moulds, so I've added to the tarot card collection. I might have to refilm some of these and overlay them, but I've bought some alcohol ink, so there's some coloured ones now. We've got some little bunnies in the shop, and there is just one of these ones, some little sort of white pearly pinky ones. We have, that noise is probably really annoying, I'm sorry. We have some full moons as opposed to half moons, and there's the other colourway for that. Again, I'll overlay some of these. More of the same, Death, but in like a bright yellow Whoops. And we've got that in a purple. We've got some love hearts with little ghosties in. Oops. They're pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with those. So yeah, I am also including, this won't be in the shop, but I will make some more. I purchased a mould that came too big and I don't think it would work as a stitch marker or a progress keeper. I think it would be too heavy. However, I did happen to have some brooch backs and I added a brooch back to it before it's set. So I made that little brooch. Again, this one won't be in the shop because it was test run yesterday to see when I went out for my walk in the sculpture garden, which leads me nicely into my what have I been up to section, I guess. We went for a walk at a sculpture garden. I will put the name down the bottom and link below. It was gorgeous. I very much recommend it if you're in the area. Or ever find yourself in the area. But I wore this as a little test run to see if that brooch back would stay put, and it really did. It's really nice and sturdy. So I think I'm going to make more of those and put them in the shop if you are interested. If you don't really care, like, just leave a comment below and tell me. I'm properly obsessed with him. Look how cute he is. He's got this like pinky blue glitter behind him. It's amazing. Tooting my own horn here. So that's basically been it. I've been, if you are only here for knitting and wool and fibre content, thank you for watching. I'm just going to ramble about myself now for a little bit. There will be a little bit of a chat about mental health, so trigger warning, I guess. If you're not up for that, please feel free to leave now. No worries, no hard feelings. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Bye bye. Last time I mentioned that I was doing a live with Embroidered Elephant, and we did that. That went really well. We spoke about mental health, and that was so, we didn't get too in depth, but it was very nice to talk about and it seemed to get a good response. So I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. If you attended, thank you for showing up. It was very, it was nice. I sort of built lives up in my head as something massive, and it was really just so casual, and it was really nice to do it with a friend first, to sort of ease me into it. I do want to do some more, so watch this space, they will happen. Since having that chat, I have changed my doctor and have a much better doctor now, and have been talking to her about my mental health. I went to her about feeling tired and exhausted all the time, and we did some blood tests and nothing came back. So all healthy, all fine, great news. But she did think that possibly it was high functioning depression, and I was sort of like, nah, whatever, so that's not going to be it, I'm fine. And she suggested trying pills, medication, specifically sertraline, because it worked best for me or whatever. She had a rhyme or reason to it. And just a small one, just start me off, see how it feels, 50 milligrams of it, and I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. It's helped so much, and there's certain things it's helped that I didn't even know were anxiety and depression based. Convincing myself people are talking about me on the bus, and they're just not. They're talking about themselves. Of course they are. It's so I just wanted to mention it because I had a lot of positive feedback about talking about mental health in the live. And I want to be really open with that and continue that conversation, because I think it's a really valuable conversation for us all to have, especially after the year we've just been through. and to understand that like it's okay and really understandable if you're not feeling great right now, and if you need a little bit of an extra boost, be that like reaching out to someone, feel free, like my door's always open, be that reaching out to friends, be that therapy or medication, like just try it. You don't have to stay on that forever. You don't, like, if it doesn't work for you, you can come off it, or you can find another therapist, or just talk to your doctor, because I went for feeling tired. I didn't know I was down. I didn't know. I thought I was just tired all the time, and that I thought maybe they'd give me like vitamin B or something like that, like just to boost me, but they didn't. They gave me medication that has really helped, and I wanted to share that. Aside from that, I have just been going on lots of walks because I've got more energy now. We went to the beach and had a fire and a barbecue on the beach with Matty for his birthday. That was really lovely. Again, did that big walk yesterday. I mentioned on my Instagram, we did a big walk up Cambrai and went through a different direction than we had before. It was really difficult, and I had like one of my first panic attacks in ages, but I was with the right people and they helped me, and it was no need to panic at all. It ended up being a really lovely day, and I got some really nice footage of that. So the vloggy bit at the end might be a bit long this time because I do have lots to share with you. Yeah, just if you feel like you need help, just ask for help, man. It's fine. Don't worry about it. There's really no shame in it. And since I've gone on meds as well, and because I'm so open about everything, I just like doesn't seem to be really a filter in my brain. So I'm just like, I've gone back to work and people are like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm really good. I'm on medication now." But turns out so many people around me are also on it and just never spoke about it. And now I've opened up about it, like in my relationships and work are so much better because we all know each other a little bit better now. It's just there's no shame in feeling sad. There's really no shame in it, and if you feel that way, or just tired, or even if it's physical, like if you're in pain, like talk to someone about it. Talk to your doctor. Do something, because it's you don't need to be sad or tired or in pain. If it can be fixed, why not fix it? You don't need to feel rubbish all the time. And I do want to add that find a good doctor that you feel comfortable with. I have tried to go on medication before when I was in my first year of university, and as I've mentioned before, I am very clearly a plus size girl. I'm a big girl. I always have been and I always will be. It is my body, and that's how it functions, and that's how it exists in the world, and that's fine. But when I tried to get medication in the past, I had a very wildly unprofessional doctor, in my opinion, and I told him that I wasn't coping very well with uni, and I feel like I've got friends around me who suggested that I should probably try medication and blah blah blah, and he said, well, medication can it's quite likely that you'll put weight on, and you're probably just down because you're overweight anyway, so maybe just like change your diet, see how you feel then. And that led to a lot of really toxic eating habits, and just one passing comment from a person who probably doesn't even know they had that effect on me. So if you don't agree with what your doctor said and you're not happy with what your doctor said, you're allowed to not be happy, and you're allowed to go get a second opinion or a third opinion or a fourth opinion, and you're not a bother. If they treat you like a bother, then that's their problem, not yours. So that's all I wanted to say. I knew I'd have a bit of a rant about that, but I needed to hear it, and I got this new doctor, and it was just so totally what I needed. So I'm doing well. thank you, and thank you so much for watching today. Sorry I didn't have too much to show you in knitting, but I always say that, and then like I said earlier, it comes to editing and there seems to be more than I originally thought. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have had a nice time since I last spoke to you, and I hope you continue to do so. Reach out if you ever feel you need to. Doors are always open, and if you like the video, give it a like. Feels a bit naff saying this now, but it helps and it gets me out there to invite more people into this lovely community that's building around me. And that is not me, that is you. Thank you. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can dislike it, but it doesn't really help because I don't know at what point you disliked, so not as constructive as I originally thought. If you want to see more of my mad ramblings, you can click subscribe and click the little bell below, because now I'm back at work it is a little bit more sporadic and less routine. Sorry. So that bell will make sure you don't miss what comes out. And oh, I did want to add, on a slightly lighter note, I have properly got into Animal Crossing on the Switch and now have my island Finn, as in my bunny, land. Couldn't not really, could I? Couldn't not. And if you guys would like to visit or like have a little play along with me on Animal Crossing, that'd be really cool. I'd be well up for that. I'm fully invested, so let me know in the comments below what you've been making. Do you play Animal Crossing? Would you like to visit me? And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!